I changed doctors. So he was like, no, like, you've been on this for too long. Like, it's time to come off. When I first saw like everything was great, I was, shocked. Just kind of learning my body and learning what triggers a flare. I literally just bought this book today. It's called Eat Right for Your Type. They did holistic healing, which was eating the right things. I don't know how y'all be reading a book in a day or two, okay? Between the business and being a mama, I don't know how you do it. Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Sharonda Patrice, where I talk about all things motherhood, entrepreneurship, and faith. Today, I wanted to give you guys an update on my lupus diagnosis. If you are an OG, then you saw my video from about 3 years ago where I talked about how I was diagnosed with lupus. So today, I went to go get some blood work done. And so I thought it was appropriate for me to kind of give you guys an update on how I've been doing, what's new, what's changed, what's not new. So we'll do that. And then the next part of this video, after I give you all that, will probably be my doctor's appointment. So with my doctor, they have me come in and do blood work. And then a week later, I actually have my appointment where I sit down and talk with him. So that will be the next clip after I get done talking about everything that I got to update you guys on. So with that being said, let's get into it. So first, I want to tell you guys, number one is that I changed doctors. So I was going to a doctor that was closer to my hometown, which is taking me like an hour and a half to get there, which wasn't bad at first because I didn't have a child and we were only going every 3 months, right? Now I have a child that I have to consider, and so I can't just like pick up and go whenever. And another thing for me is that if I was in a flare or if I was in a crisis or whatever, and I haven't really been in like a crisis, but if I was in like a flare and I needed to be seen right away, it would take me an hour and a half to get there. So I was like, it's time to change. And I liked him, but I wasn't like impressed with him. So I thought it was a good time to make that change. So with that being said, I changed doctors. I am now here about 30 minutes away from my doctor now. The first thing that he did was take me off prednisone. So in the last video, I talked about me being on hydroxychloroquine, aka Plaquenil, and I was also on prednisone. Since then, I've like been off and on of Plaquenil. I mean, not Plaquenil, prednisone. Off and on prednisone, which is a steroid, to kind of control the pain. When I changed doctors, he was like, no, like, you've been on this for too long. Like, it's time to come off. So the bad thing about prednisone is that it makes your bones brittle. And I believe it makes your calcium low, which is probably what causes the bones to be brittle. So he was like, no, you need to come off of that. So he weaned me off of that, and I haven't needed it since, which is amazing. I'm still on the hydroxychloroquine, and that has been working for me very well. Haven't had any complaints about that. As far as my lab work and how I'm doing on a day-to-day basis, my lab work, every time I was going every 3 months with him, and then I guess once he kind of got me established, he kind of moved it to like every 4 to 6 months, just depending on how he's feeling about how I'm doing. But every time I go, since I've started going to him, since I've got off the prednisone, it seems like it's been in the green, A1 every time. When I first saw like everything was great, I was, shocked. Okay, I literally almost wanted to call them and say, did y'all get me mixed up with somebody? Because I had not seen results lab work like that since I had been diagnosed with lupus. But since then, literally every single time I go, I'm in the green. Not saying that I don't have flares, but I do definitely have flares. But I guess by the time I go, I have gotten it kind of under control. So yeah, my lab work has been excellent. So next I want to talk about just kind of learning my body and learning what triggers a flare. And what I have learned for myself is that stress triggers my flares. Some people talk about like food triggers it, or I don't know, different things, right? For me, it's stress. I've noticed every time that I have a flare, I was stressed prior to. And so when I was first diagnosed with lupus, I thought it was the flu shot because I literally had just got the flu shot. I have never had a flu shot outside of working at the hospital those 3 years that I worked there. And so I thought I was having a reaction to the flu shot. Like I thought the flu shot triggered it. But the more I go on and I see that stress is what causes my flares, I realize that the onset of the horrible pain come from stress. In the last video, I talked about my pain starting in October with my wrists. Prior to the month prior to that, my mom passed away. And so it makes sense that that stress was a trigger. When I was in college, though, which was about 10 years ago, that's crazy to say. 10 years ago, I was in college. So 10 years ago, when I was in college, I did have symptoms of lupus. I had pain all down my body. I could barely walk. It was literally like the same thing. I could barely walk. I was going to the doctor. They said I just had a vitamin D deficiency, which is crazy. But hear me out. The vitamins made me feel better. So I don't know. It's crazy. But I was having the same symptoms in college, and I was so stressed out in college. I mean, I had talked about quitting so many times, y'all. It was crazy. So looking back to that, looking back to my mom's passing, looking back over the years, over the last couple of years of all of my flares, everything was stress. Everything was stress. So my trigger is stress. So I have to be mindful of just being relaxed, not letting things get to me, things like that. When it comes to the business, that's hard. You know, just last week I launched new products. Nobody's bought anything, and I was literally stressed out the whole week. And now I'm dealing with some things like I said, stress is my trigger. I'm dealing with some things now. I have like swollen knuckles, warm to touch, red when you look at it. My skin itches. But I'm not like butterfly rash. So again, I have to learn how to take it easy, basically. I need to, I have learned to rest when my body says rest. I have learned that. I do try to push through and get things done, but I have learned my body enough to know when I need to like relax and take it easy. This time I did not do that because I in my mind I had a deadline and I needed to get this stuff out. So the result of that is me slowly going into a flare. Hopefully I can get it under control where it won't be too bad. But yes, all of that to say that I have learned that stress is my trigger, and that if I take it easy, if I chill out, then all is well. So the next thing I want to talk about is my symptoms. In my last video, which I will put in the description or I will link it above, I talked about how I was just like, I need to go to the doctor, which was I had pain on both sides of my wrists, both sides of my hands, both sides of my shoulders, knees, toes, everything. So that's what made me go. I still get, when I'm going into a flare, I still get pain here in my knuckles and my wrists. And I get very tired. I get fatigued very easily. So those two are the symptoms that have stayed: the joint pain and the fatigue. The new symptoms are skin rash. So I have started getting the butterfly rash when I go into flares. So here on my cheeks, here on my forehead, and then I also get them on my eyelids. And it's red and itchy, hot, those kind of things. I've also got something called geographic tongue. And you guys, to be honest, these doctors don't really tell you what's lupus related and what's not. And so anytime that I have something going on, I immediately go and do research. Like if I go to the doctor and they say I got geographic tongue, I go and do research on geographic tongue to see if it's connected to lupus. So anyway, I went to the dentist because something was going on with my tongue, and it was geographic tongue is what they called it. It's not anything crazy. I get a little pain from it, and it's just like where these patches kind of like move around your tongue and change the shape, and it looks like continents. And so that's why they call it geographic tongue. But it's nothing like deadly or contagious or anything like that. It's literally just your tongue just changing shapes, really. Or the palate of your tongue, not your tongue changing shapes, but like the palate of your tongue kind of just like patches up a little bit. Another thing is called, let me make sure I'm saying it right, you guys, because I don't know. Okay, the last thing is hydrodentis suppurativa. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but basically I had a lump underneath my armpits on both sides. And the doctor said that's what it was called, and that basically it would go away on its own if I left it alone. She was like, don't let anybody dig into it because it'll just like keep coming back, come back worse every time. And so when I look it up, again, linked to lupus. So you can get it in your armpits, your groin, anywhere where your skin rubs together. That's where you can get that at. And it's also linked to lupus. So those are my symptoms that I deal with when I go into a flare. So in the next scene, you guys will see me in the doctor's office, which will be next week. And I will kind of give you guys an update there to see what's going on. But the one thing I want to ask my doctor about is my kidneys. For many of you, you may not know that my mom passed away from kidney cancer. So I am literally like on top of it. Anytime I feel like my kidneys are hurting, anytime I'm having something going on, I need to know what's going on. So last month I had an issue with a UTI. I took my, what do you call it? Antibiotics. I took my antibiotics. And the symptom that I had was that I was peeing blood, which obviously freaked me out. I did stop peeing blood. I took my antibiotics, but I'm still having a little like kidney bladder pain. They did do a why am I drawing a blank? Ultrasound. They did do an ultrasound, and I didn't have anything visible to the eye, like a cyst or anything like that, which is good. So that's one thing I'm going to ask him though, because I'm still having a little like kidney pain, a little bladder pain. So I just want to get a little more into what might be causing that, or maybe like the UTI didn't go all the way away. I don't know, but I just want to make sure I'm good because, like I said, I've seen what my mama had to go through, and I don't want to have to go through that for sure. And her doctors were saying that if they could have caught it early, they could have done something about it. But most of the time, people with kidney cancer, they don't catch it until it's last minute. So I'm just trying to stay on top of things. But that's really it as far as like an update. I did want to show you guys this book though. I literally just bought this book today. It's called Eat Right for Your Type. I saw this video on TikTok, and they were talking about they went to this vitamin lady in Atlanta, and she basically tells you what you should eat based on your blood type. And so if you don't know your blood type, she'll take your blood type there for like $20. And then she'll have like this little class where she'll sit down and tell you based on your blood type, like things you should avoid, things you shouldn't avoid, things like that. And so they also recommended this book, which will give you the same thing if you don't want to go, which will tell you basically things to avoid, things not to avoid with your blood type, and it's good if you already know what your blood type is. So with that being said, I got this book. I just got it today. I haven't read it, but I will keep you guys updated on what I find out. I am type B, so I'm probably going to look more towards that, but I will glance at the other things to let you guys know what I find. So if you guys are interested in that, because the reason why I wanted to get into this is because I have seen so many people talk about holistic healing, and like they had lupus and they've been in remission for so many years because they did holistic healing, which was eating the right things. And so I want to look into this to see if there's anything that I can do to contribute to like going into remission with lupus, which I'm doing. Like I said, lab work says I'm doing great. I feel great most of the time, just, the stress that triggers it and stuff like that. But I want to get to the point where stress doesn't even trigger it. And so I'm looking at this book to find out what I can do to improve that. If you're interested, I will link this down below. I actually got this at Barnes & Noble, but I can link it down below. It's probably at Amazon as well. But yeah, I will link it down below. The next clip you guys will see will be of me going to the doctor, and I'll give you like an update of, everything that was said. Alrighty. Yes.
How many do you take?
2 a day, 20 milligrams.
200 every day, right?
Yes.
You tolerate it fine. You're tolerating it okay?
Yes.
And that's the only medicine you get from us, right?
The what?
That's the only medicine you get from us.
Yes.
Have you been up to date with your eye exam?
I need to get an eye exam.
You should do that.
Okay.
And you also take ibuprofen and stuff?
Yes.
How often you take that?
Just as needed.
How often you that?
Maybe a few times a month.
Say it again?
A few times a month.
Okay. So things are all okay?
It's been alright.
How do you feel in the mornings when you wake up?
Well, here for the last week,
Mm-hmm.
I would say about a week, it's been a little rough.
In
Pain
what
in the
way?
mornings. Well, pain. I've been in a little flare, but I think I'm recovering from it now.
So in the last 1 week you have been having some more pain in the morning, but you feel that's getting better. Other than that, you're okay?
I
No
guess.
sores in the mouth?
No,
No rashes?
not now.
No Raynaud's, like if you're out in the cold, your hands become purple, whitish, anything like that? Good. Any new numbness, tingling, chest pain, shortness of breath, nothing like that?
No. All right, you guys. So I went to the doctor this morning. It is now late, so anyway, that's neither here nor there. I went to the doctor this morning. I talked with the doctor about my concerns, and he was just like, I want you to talk to your primary care doctor, and if they don't do anything, then come back to me. But he said my lab works were great. My lab work was great. Nothing to be concerned about with lab work. which is also always awesome. Like I said, every time I go to the doctor, for some reason, since I've changed doctors and he's taken me off the prednisone, I've been doing phenomenal. Always in the green, which is amazing. Um, but that was really the only update. Like he just wanted me to talk to my primary care doctor and have them get me scheduled with some specialists, so to speak, and then go from there. And then if they can't get me what I need, if my primary care doctor can't get me what I need, then he will take care of it. But he was just like, um, they don't necessarily do that kind of stuff or recommend or refer to that kind of stuff, if that makes sense. Anyway, so which I'm okay with. Like I said, there really wasn't much of an update. Just to say that my lab works were great. But you guys, this book, I showed you this book last week. I still have barely even broke the surface. So I'm on chapter 3. I don't know how y'all be reading a book in a day or two. Okay, between the business and being a mama, I don't know how you do it. Okay, I just don't know. And my son, he wants all the attention on him. Okay, so even if we're having like quiet time or he's having like a solo playtime, I still need to be focused on him. Okay. He does not want me reading this book. He wants me to have eyes on him so that whenever he's ready for me to play with him, I can be ready. But anyway, so far so good. Definitely learning a lot. I haven't really dove into the actual blood types, like each blood type. But like the first few chapters are just like giving like a backstory on like the blood types and how they originated. And uh, right now chapter 3 talks about like how weight loss is associated with blood type and stuff like that. So um, that's kind of where I'm at right now. Um, but if you guys want me to do a book review on this, let me know. I'm giving myself, I want to do a chapter a day. A chapter a day is really not working out right now, but I want to do a chapter a day. So I'm hoping by next week, I'll be done with this book. I don't know. First of all, 2 things in the comments I need from you guys. Let me know if you want a book review on this blood type. Eat right for your type. Second thing, if you are a avid book reader, if you read all the time, let me know how you read a whole book in a day, or in 2 days, or in a week. Let me know. I need suggestions because listen, I got all these books. Yeah, I haven't even read half of these books. I start and I stop because I cannot get through. So I have a whole library of stuff that I could be reading right now, but I just can't get through them. So I need you guys, and that doesn't even count what's in my room. Like in our bedroom, I probably have about 4 more books. So anyway, let me know in the comments. Do you want a book review on this? And let me know in the comments how you guys, if you're a avid reader, let me know the things that you do to get through reading books like fast, not just a year to read a book. Anyway, I'm gonna end it here. And let me know if you have any questions about lupus, or anything like that, or anything like my personal journey with lupus. I will be glad to answer those in the comments. And so I'll see you guys on the next video.